Hello everyone, stop whatever you are doing right now, turn off the lights, lay down on your bed, and keep your eyes wide open, because if you are truly worried about Lynette Hooker and want justice, you are exactly at the right channel in the right place. Seriously, I am not joking around today, because what I am about to tell you regarding this crazy Brian Hooker and Lynette Hooker case is going to completely freeze your body and blow your mind. You all know this case has been dragged for months, and we are all honestly sick and tired of the same old boring stories, right? But tonight, I have two brand new updates that no one else is talking about. Can you believe that Brian's own elite federal defense lawyer privately looked him straight in the eyes and delivered a brutal four-word warning saying, "You are fucked"? Yes, his own lawyer told him that the feds have completely trapped him, ordering him to shut his mouth instantly and refuse all cooperation. But wait, it gets even more terrifying. This isn't even his first time, because police records show Brian was previously put on criminal trial for brutally choking his own 12-year-old daughter. Just take a second and think about this. If a man is capable of choking his own flesh and blood, what do you think he could do to his wife in the middle of the dark ocean? It makes your blood run cold, doesn't it? Now, stay right here with me, because today we are opening secret doors and exposing raw files that you have never heard or seen anywhere else on the internet. Do not even think about skipping a single second of this video, because if you do, you will miss the biggest breakdown of the year. Let's get serious and look at what else he was hiding. So, how did this high-profile legal nightmare even begin? The shocking truth leaked out from the deep investigative sources of famous journalist Ashley Banfield. She exposed that Brian Hooker completely dumped his local Michigan lawyer, Crystal Mary Hewer, and secretly hired a brutal, top-tier federal defense attorney with massive Department of Justice experience. Why would an innocent man desperately need a high-stakes Dow J specialist unless federal charges were dropping? This new lawyer took one look at the heavy evidence and delivered that terrifying four-word warning to Brian: "You are fucked."
Has said to Brian Hooker, "You are fucked."
He ordered Brian to shut his mouth completely, cut off his family, and refuse all communication with the Coast Guard. This absolute silence order makes you sick to your stomach, doesn't it? But why would a grieving husband hide behind a legal shield instead of helping to search for his missing wife? The reason is absolutely chilling, and it directly connects to a dark, hidden past that will make your blood run cold. Did you know that this isn't even Brian's first time facing violence charges? Official court records reveal he was previously put on criminal trial for brutally choking his own 12-year-old daughter. He barely managed to get away on a technicality.
They have all detailed prior bad acts that weren't charged and convicted, right? One was charged and he was exonerated. He was acquitted of choking his 12-year-old daughter.
Just stop and honestly ask yourself right now, if a man is capable of choking his own young daughter, what do you think he did to his poor wife out in the deep, dark ocean? This horrifying revelation completely destroys his innocent victim act and points a massive finger of guilt directly at him. It completely changes how we look at his behavior. If you were just sitting in a courtroom hearing about a father choking his own flesh and blood, would you ever believe his story about a tragic accident? Absolutely not. This uncharged brutality proves a terrifying pattern of physical anger. But guess what? The feds were already 2 steps ahead of his silence strategy. While Brian was busy locking his jaws, federal investigators were quietly racing toward Marsh Harbor to seize the physical crime scene itself. While Brian was busy shutting his mouth under strict legal orders, federal agents from the Coast Guard Investigative Service were quietly striking hard against his entire timeline. They officially raided and seized their 46-foot Morgan sailboat named Soulmate, along with the tiny dinghy, completely dragging them away to a heavily guarded federal impound lot in the Southern District of Florida. Now ask yourself, why would the feds seize a multi-million-dollar vessel if it was just a simple accident? They did it because inside that cramped, tiny boat, forensic teams discovered something that completely smashed Brian's defense into pieces. They swabbed the tight living quarters and found a highly complex, microscopic mixed DNA profile containing deep biological fluids inside the cracks of the boat. The presence of these specific hidden fluids proves there was a violent struggle inside that small space before Lynette vanished. To confirm this physical horror, federal investigators suddenly rushed straight to Lynette's traumatized family weeks later. They demanded urgent emergency DNA swabs and medical dental records from her father Dan, her mother Darlene, and her sweet daughter Carly. They needed these biological samples to isolate the victim's DNA from the dark mixture and prove exactly whose blood was spilled inside that cabin. Can you imagine the pure terror Carly felt realizing federal agents were testing her DNA to match fluid inside her mother's home? This major scientific breakthrough totally shatters Brian's fake story about Lynette simply bouncing off the back of a boat during angry seas. If she just fell overboard like he claims, why on earth is there a secret mixture of biological fluids hidden deep inside the sailboat quarters? It makes no sense, right? The physical evidence proves she never made it to the open ocean safely. But wait, the absolute worst part isn't just the physical blood dragnet inside the boat. The true depth of Brian's cold-blooded calculations shows up in his terrifying behavior right after the crime. While forensic teams were uncovering that hidden biological dragnet inside the sailboat, Brian was busy putting on the ultimate television performance for the world. He actually wept in front of media cameras, claiming he loved his wife so much that it would literally take a divine higher power to force him to leave the Bahamas without her. But guess what? That supreme higher power turned out to be a commercial airplane flight the very next morning. Famous journalist Ashley Banfield exposed the chilling truth that while Brian was crying for the cameras, he was secretly working with the United States consulate in the background to fast-track an emergency passport to escape. This shameless consciousness of guilt completely destroys his grieving husband's act, doesn't it? He promised he would never leave until she was found, yet he packed his bags and fled within 12 hours. After running back to America, his behavior became even more cold-blooded. He completely froze out his family, refusing to send a single text or make a phone call to comfort Lynette's devastated daughter, Carly, for 8 straight weeks. He didn't say a single word to her mother, Darlene, or her father, Dan, either. Think about that. If your innocent wife tragically drowned in the ocean, wouldn't you want to hold your daughter tight and cry together? Instead, he chose absolute freezing silence. The timing of his escape proves he wasn't running from grief. He was running from the law before anyone even accused him of murder. Jurors don't leave their common sense at the door, and this terrifying behavior screams guilt. But his cold calculations didn't stop with a fake passport and family betrayal. His true ultimate motive was wrapped around a massive pile of cash. Brian completely drained his retirement funds while staring at Lynette's untouched $700,000 retirement account, which he can't touch without a death certificate. To lock the trap, federal agents scoured his electronics, extracting his secret conversational history with Google Gemini. This digital blueprint proves he manipulated AI to generate fake tracking maps to construct a false alibi. The DOJ is officially moving forward with a powerful no-body conviction precedent. Drop your thoughts below. Smash that like button, subscribe.